What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Beyond the Forecast. Fun episode here planned for you. Got some beautiful weather out there across Hampton Roads, and a nice weekend looking to take shape here. Temperatures kind of going to be bouncing around all over the place, though. That's kind of the theme here the next couple of days. We're talking about roller coaster temps, a little bit of chances for rain. We'll have all of it with meteorologist Jeff Edmondson.
What's going on? You're already looking forward to the weekend. Already
Looking
just
forward.
dropping that note. Just
Yes,
getting excited on a Thursday.
Getting excited on a Thursday.
That's good.
I consider Friday kind of to be like half part of the weekend. It's like if Saturday and Sunday are 2 full days, like Friday's like half of a weekend.
See, you get out of work, though, at a time that's still decent. I get out of work almost before Saturday begins.
Basically.
So I see what you're saying. Tomorrow, because the weather for this weekend coming up is looking pretty good. It's looking still very dry.
Yeah.
And I have some leaves that I got to get up in my backyard. Front yard's fine, but the backyard is starting to get a little thick because I have a lot of maple trees back there. So I'm going to try and get those up maybe tomorrow and into the weekend. It's going to be time to get that done.
Yeah, and we just had that first kind of Arctic blast early this week, and it's going to make a complete 180 as we head into this weekend. High temperatures likely 5 to 10 degrees above average.
I do like, though, that that's as warm as we're going to get personally. Now, some of you may want it to be on the upper 70s or 80s, get another warm spell, but I like that we just gradually warmed up. We're going to get there for a little bit, then we'll gradually cool back down. Yeah. None of these drastic changes or severe weather or storms.
I can't say I'm a big fan of the drastic changes either because, like you just mentioned, you just alluded to, usually drastic changes in weather come with drastically changing temps. So I'm okay with it, being a slow rise and a slow fall. And even Sunday, where we are expecting those temps for the next 7 days to hit their max, it's not going to be like this crazy, like hot, oh, let's go back to the beach type of day.
Right.
It's going to be kind of, I would say, more so comfortable across Hampton Roads.
Yeah, it should be nice. What do we have? 70s maybe by Sunday?
Maybe by Sunday.
That'd be nice.
Not for everybody. The coastline will probably hold a little cooler, but I think for at least spots away from the water, we'll definitely hit that 70-degree mark.
I haven't looked at buoy temperatures, but last night I think they were still around 60.
They're around 60.
Which is shocking.
Which is very shocking.
After this cold spell, it didn't cool off.
It wouldn't surprise me, though, if really the next week or two, we'll definitely be in the 50s by then. But if you're a surfer, get your winter wetsuits now. The sales are still running. You're running out of time, though.
Yeah, this show is sponsored by your favorite wetsuit store.
Yes, I will be getting mine soon.
Yes, because yours, you blew yours out or something like that, or
it's just
apart?
old. It's just old. It's,
yeah.
If you surf enough like I do, you get 2 seasons out of it, and that's pretty good.
Yeah, you wear them out.
Yeah. So I mean, you're gonna need those. The winter coats. If you haven't picked up your new winter coat this season, you still got some time. But you might want to start thinking about that. Grab those holiday deals.
And it's
a great holiday deals.
It's a great opportunity too if you have a newer or lightly used coat to donate for coats for families.
Yes.
So drive that we've been doing WAVY TV 10 for years. So definitely drop off a new or gently used coat. We have information on our website wavy.com. I've done that in years past. I got a jacket once as a gift. It was way too big for me, and I just threw it in the bin and let someone else have it because everyone needs to have a winter coat, even though we don't get winters here in Hampton Roads that are as cold as spots farther north, for example, like Maine or Wisconsin, but we still get those cold temperatures. We just had some this week.
Yeah, I mean,
so you want to have a nice
with
nice
the
jacket.
wind too. The wind, you made temperatures in the 30s feel more like the 20s.
I mean, I'm kind of thinking about maybe getting a new coat and get something for the ski season because you got to have something new when you hit the slopes.
Got to have that fresh new kit.
Yep.
A new kit every season.
Not every season.
I'm
yeah.
not that way.
No.
I know people though who are like, all right, I'm getting my new pair of pants, my new pair. I'm like, with the way ski gear is nowadays, it is expensive.
Oh, snow pants are really expensive.
$200, $300 in some cases. I've seen it, and I'm like, what is it? What am I buying, a wetsuit? Like, this is crazy.
Yeah, I feel like you get more money for your wetsuit than you get with a pair of snow pants.
I would agree. I would 100% agree with you there.
My last pair of snow pants were $70, and they're black, and they get the job done. But let's go back to the forecast here. So we have sunshine still across our area right now. Weather is still looking really good. Temperatures are hanging out to be pretty comfortable. There's a chill in the air, but we have low 60s in most spots right now, so we're doing okay there. But what kind of topic do we want to hit first? Do you want rainfall, or do you want to do something else?
I want to start with the latest drought monitor.
Okay.
Because that just came. I think that's a great way to kind of segue through this today. Here is where we stand. Thursday, November 13th of 2025. The latest drought monitor. Hampton Roads, we're looking okay.
Still clear.
Up into the peninsulas, kind of have some spots that are abnormally dry as you work your way towards the northern neck. But for the most part, the south side is fine. It's this has kind of been a theme here the past couple of weeks, really past month. Northeast North Carolina, you are still in that moderate drought. It's not severe. We broke free of this severe drought, so that has improved. But we are still in a moderate drought for parts of Northeast North Carolina. As you work your way towards Greenville, still a little bit of a patch there where they're still dealing with severe drought. And then, of course, off towards Charlottesville, north of Richmond, they're seeing some pretty dry conditions up there. But for us in Hampton Roads, we're looking not too bad. Not too bad at the moment.
Yeah, it takes a while to get out of a drought. You need those kind of weather patterns where you get all-day rainfall, and we've had 2 of them.
Yes.
That really helped, and that's why we have still dry conditions on the stats and moderate drought in some spots. But when we look at the season, we're doing really well so far for September, October, and November for our autumn season.
Yes.
We, at normal point at this time, should be at 10.6. We're at 11.3 right now, so that's a nice little tiny surplus.
For the season. That's not the year. The
whole
whole year,
year's on
we're
the other side.
actually almost 5 inches below where we should be.
Yep, and I do not remember off the top of my head where that big deficit happened. I can't remember which month. There was 2 months where we got
really
were
nothing.
very dry.
I can't remember either.
I don't remember right now off the top of my head. Well, I'll start putting that together here for the shows later on tonight because it's a good kind of way to wrap up to see how we're doing for the year because we only have a month left now at this point.
But here's what you don't want. What you don't want is to have this huge deficit and to make it all up in one storm.
You can't. That won't matter for the drought.
Well, I'm still saying, think of other impacts. Flooding. You know, if we are 5 inches below and we just boom, get that in one storm, could be talking flooding. So we kind of like how the fall has been going. The fall has been, fairly consistent, kind of within that average, give or take an inch or two. Things are not going too bad for us this fall.
Yeah, they're so far so good, and being down by about 4.3 inches is okay.
It's still not too bad.
It's not too bad. It's about 10% down for where we need to be for the year. So we gotta see if we can make that up a little bit. As long as we can end the fall season with a surplus, I think that'd be pretty good.
Yeah.
But looking at the year, November is the second driest month on average, where we get only 3 inches.
Behind what looks like February.
Because it's the shortest month. So that pretty much is the reason why.
True, yeah.
That
There's
one,
some reasons behind that are not meteorological.
But it is interesting that January is so much higher than December and November. It's a wetter month.
Yeah, that is kind of strange. And, it could be, how the jet stream typically is dipping on down during those times, big winter storms, maybe starting to kind of influence things for the month of January, potentially. That's maybe my first guess.
Yeah, the winter storms across the northern states don't happen as often, so now they start pushing towards us by January. So we get those big winter storms that can come through. Now, when I say winter storm, that doesn't mean that we're going to get snow out of them.
Right.
It's just a storm system that brings a lot of snow, maybe to Maryland and D.C. They get the big stuff, and we're on the rain, warm side of the system.
Yeah.
But the average annual amount of rainfall we get is 49.18 inches. That's the average.
That's the average for Hampton Roads. And look, speaking of the topic of rain, we're not really going to see much the next 7 days. We have a couple opportunities, but within those opportunities, it doesn't look like totals will be all too impressive. So I guess we'll quickly time this out real quick as we go throughout the rest of our day today. We're looking pretty good. Maybe a few clouds drifting on through overhead. It's been a nice day today.
It has been nice. Yeah, it's been sunny. It got really cloudy late last night.
It did.
I went out to look at some of the Aurora Borealis Northern Lights. Didn't have as much of a show. I did see some pinks.
Oh, you did?
Yep, I did see a little bit of pink.
I didn't see anything.
It was weak. It was not something, if you missed it, nah.
There will be other opportunities in the future.
Well, we'll see, yeah.
Hopefully.
I'm talking about that tomorrow on Beyond the Forecast. We're doing a deep dive at the Aurora.
Cool.
So it's kind of a two-parter. We're talking about generator safety and carbon monoxide, and then we're also going to talk about more about the Aurora. So we're going to save that for tomorrow. But for the forecast into tonight and tomorrow morning, looking pretty good. Mostly clear skies.
Tomorrow's looking great.
There's been so many clouds that have moved through during the nighttime hours, Brian. I haven't even had a reason to bring the telescope out.
Yeah, it's been a weird kind of past couple days, right? It's almost like, hey, the nighttime's coming. Let's move on through.
Yeah.
Hampton Roads, right when the best light show of the year is happening right above our heads.
Yeah, and it's just like, So It's been kind of a bummer for looking at the stars this week, and the moon hasn't been shining too bright. So that's when you want to look at the deep sky objects, when the moon's not out there.
One thing that we are going to talk about later on in this episode is temperatures, because they are going to be going up as we go into the weekend. And here's the reason why. Look at the wind direction, southwest and west. That's usually this time of year a warming wind direction. We usually see temperatures either at or above average whenever we get winds like that during the month of November. Really, the winter in general for the most part. A southerly breeze is always going to do it for us. Maybe a few extra clouds coming up for the day on Saturday, especially during the morning hours, but Saturday's looking dry. Saturday's looking to be pleasant. Our first shot of potentially some rainfall coming up for the day on Sunday, and then another one. We'll talk about that a little bit later on in
Sunday
the
now.
forecast.
That's changed.
Sunday, and then another round next week. I'll talk about it's not looking very impressive.
Okay, let's talk about it after the break.
Yes, so we'll be right back. Stick around. All right, we're back.
Sorry, I spilled water all over myself. I was like, I'm trying to wipe before we came back, but nah.
Jeff was chugging water, guys. He was showing me how quickly he could, destroy his water bottle.
Yeah, no, I drank like 10% of this thing.
Completely kidding.
Yeah.
We're gonna go into temperatures because the title of the lower 30, you can read it there. Roller coaster temps this week. And Jeff and I, we were talking about it. This week isn't really going to be a week where we shoot up really high and then we drop down really far. It's not going to be this drastic change. It's kind of a slow rise.
It's a kiddie coaster.
A kiddie coaster. There you go. Perfect way to describe it. Here is where I will say it will be a little bit chilly. Early Friday morning.
Tomorrow
morning, it will be cold for especially inland spots. Will likely be down into the low 30s, maybe near freezing for a few isolated areas. For the most part, Wakefield, Franklin, maybe around that 33, 34 degree mark. Closer to the water, will be likely into the low 40s still, like Virginia Beach, for example. If you're right along the ocean front or kind of within the realm there, like, towards Shore Drive, if you're kind of near the Chesapeake Bay, you'll likely be into the low 40s. But still, with a little bit of a breeze coming up tomorrow morning out of the north, it could feel a little bit cool out there, but
one thing to add to this, if you still are protecting your outdoor plants, you might want to protect them if you live inland.
Yeah,
I don't know. I'll check with the Weather Service.
You never know.
Yeah, I don't know if they're doing freeze products anymore because we did have the snow.
A freeze, so that cut off the growing season.
Yeah, so once we get just for everyone to know, once we get a freeze, the products don't keep coming out that there's another freeze warning. They shut that down. So because growing season has come to an end, but if you have plants that are potted and you want to keep them going, just keep that in mind that you're going to have to watch that temperature forecast closely now going into the days and weeks ahead as it just naturally gets colder.
Right. So, we start out cold tomorrow, but Look at this. We warm up pretty nicely back into the 60s as we head likely
Nice.
through the afternoon hours. This model's going a little bit low. I'm not really buying this model staying around 59. I think we reached back into the low 60s because we'll have that sunshine. And I think the past couple of days, it's kind of shown that with the sun, it really does a lot for us in terms of temperatures. Having a good amount of sunshine overhead will maybe bump us up a little bit, at least from how the models have been.
A little bit, but we got to remember too that the mid-November sun is not much different than mid-December sun.
You're right about that, but.
Or this is like a January sunshine we have right now.
True, but we will be seeing the wind direction start to turn more in our favor for a warm-up as we go into our weekend. So that's why I'm thinking, okay, I think we could get to the low 60s. So a pleasant day coming up for the day tomorrow. We'll cool back down. There will be some clouds that come in Friday into Saturday, and that will keep our low temperatures likely in the 40s to around 50 degrees coming up for Saturday morning. And then, here we go. Into the upper 60s potentially to around 70 now Saturday afternoon. That is a change.
And we saw the wind for Saturday. We're not looking at very strong wind speeds.
Not very strong, but it's that change in direction. It's that change in direction that we have to watch for.
Saturday's going to be a good day to target to get on the bike. I haven't been on a bike in a while. So.
Great outdoor weather, I think, Saturday and really Sunday too, if you can dodge a few showers. I'll show you the overall setup here. I just pulled this graphic in. This is the reason why we're going to be seeing kind of this weekend warm-up. A warm front going to be lifting north through the area. We'll see more of a southwesterly and westerly flow come up for Saturday and into your Sunday. Whenever the patterns like this, you have high pressure to our south, cold front that's going to be incoming, you'll see temperatures warm. We'll get into that warm sector out ahead of that cold front.
Yeah, and it looks like there's another push of colder air coming from Winnipeg and through northern Minnesota. So we'll have to watch for that in the longer term because that might be a Monday type of thing.
Yeah, we'll watch for that. It is going to be coming in on Monday. But look at this. Beautiful weekend on the way here. A spotty shower chance maybe on Sunday. I'm not really buying it too much. The low pressure systems are going to be tracking to our north for a good majority of at least next week. The jet stream is just way up there is going to be way up there to our north. So steering those powerful systems up that way. And we're kind of getting cut off from like the main moisture source from these systems. If the lows are not able to pull as much moisture out of the Gulf or out of the Atlantic out ahead of them.
There's a graphic called Enhanced Satellite that kind of we use for tropic stuff. I don't know if you want to pull that up because it shows the cold front that brought us the big push of Arctic air that came through. That front is all the way through the central Atlantic. Push the graphic timeline ahead.
There we go.
So there's the front way out there, the kind of leftovers of it. That thing is gone.
Yeah.
So that dry air mass is pushed all the way down into Cuba and into southern Florida. They have the dry air down there. So this whole sector has a bunch of dry air that now it has to rehumidify essentially. So you'll get that from the Gulf, and then that will spread that humidity around the rest of the country if we get strong southerly and southwesterly winds. But we gotta rehumidify that air mass. It's a very cold, dry air mass that came through.
There's that front.
Yep, there's the front right there. It's pretty much collapsed now, but it's just kind of sitting there as a stationary boundary over the central Atlantic.
Yeah, and all that cold air coming in behind it. That's what we experienced earlier on this week. But now
very early season cold push of air.
Yeah,
that was very early season.
This is likely the first of potentially a few.
Yep.
Few rounds here.
Definitely. Yep.
So yeah, we're going to be watching for temperatures kind of bounce around a bit. We are expecting again kind of another, I guess, cool down as we go through next week. Mainly on Monday, Jeff, you just alluded to it here. But I just wanted to time out the European model. I might have to adjust the time. Here we go. So here is, we warm up out ahead of that front. I show you that front.
Yeah.
For Sunday, we warm up
That's
back into the 70s.
Saturday at 7:30 though. Look at that rain, how close it is.
Maybe getting a little bit close.
It's going to be cloudy then, Saturday afternoon.
Yeah, Sunday
cloud up.
Sunday we're definitely looking at more of a mostly cloudy day, but we're still for the most part
sprinkles
looking pretty dry. That front will pass its way through.
On Sunday.
The European does not have a lot of rainfall with it. I'll show you the GFS. The GFS is a little bit of a stronger solution for maybe a stray shower chance coming up for the day on Sunday. Kind of see it. Maybe if I could zoom, I can't zoom in.
No, that's because this is designed for the tropics.
Yeah.
But we can still see with our eyes. So we see that band of rain coming through Sunday
afternoon and evening. The timing's a little bit different. The amount of rainfall is a little bit different with the GFS and the European model. Both models have a nice dry day coming up on Monday with a good amount of sunshine. It's just going to be much cooler on the backside. See those isobars? Northwesterly winds are going to bring in those cooler temps. So highs likely only topping out in the 50s coming up for the day on your Monday. And then here comes our next system.
Ooh,
next
look at the snow on there.
Yeah, next little shortwave, little
West
energy.
Virginia,
this isn't going to be
Maryland.
This isn't going to be this big system, this big low that formed. It's going to be this little shortwave of energy that pops on through. So rain totals are not going to be impressive, but we could see a better chance coming up Tuesday, and then maybe lingering on Wednesday as well. But yeah, look at that, some cold air. Maybe parts of Pennsylvania, Maryland, maybe seeing a few flurries out of that. We'll see what the European is saying. Yeah, right on par here.
A little bit more north, but yeah, a couple of snow showers up in Pennsylvania.
A couple of snow showers, and then again, the rainfall in our area. It's likely going to be a chilly, chilly rainfall with temperatures in the 50s.
Yep, that'll be a cold, rainy day coming up by then. But that's a good kind of rain to help keep that drought in check because it's been a little dry and it's staying a little dry. So we need to get some of these showers to come through. It's not as important now because at this time of the year, since we've had the freeze, that pretty much the growing season has come to an end. But what we want to think about is we want to make sure that that ground has a nice, good soaking and it keeps staying hydrated. We get that water table and we get everything kind of set up where it needs to be going into the spring. We don't want to be dry. We want to keep that ground hydrated because there are still plants that take advantage of the cooler temperatures this time of year.
And again, you also, you don't want the ground to harden too much and
hard pan.
Yes, because you don't want a big heavy rain event to eventually happen and then boom, you end up with flooding issues.
Right.
So it all kind of works together here. We'll take a quick break in just a minute, but I want to leave you on this. Yorktown, look at the leaves falling off the trees there. It's starting to, you can kind of notice there's some bare spots in those trees.
Yes, there are. Yep, it's the sound of leaf blowers if we had sound effects turned on right now.
Yes.
But
and Rodanthe, the waves are flat. Surfers, it is looking like a brutal next week or two.
Yep, it's going to be quiet.
It is looking really flat. So we'll leave you on that. We'll take another quick break, and we'll be right back with more of your local forecast going through at least the next 24 hours. So. Update everybody, Jeff spilled his water.
Yeah, and I can't stand up now because I spilled it all over my pants in the spot, or someone sees me and said, "Uh-oh, you wet yourself. You peed your pants."
Jeff, this is what happens when you chug water too much, Jeff.
I'm still not even that low.
Still joking. Anyways, we're going to get into this forecast.
Someone probably say you should get a straw.
A straw?
I don't know. No, I don't want straws.
No?
Big gulp.
Big
Wide
goal.
mouth,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Hurricane Climo. We're nearing the end of the season here officially. Not looking likely that we see development in the next 7 days. I think we stay quiet for a little bit here. Climatologically speaking, we are really at the tail end here. Not much development occurs between now and December 1st. So.
No, I mean, a rare storm can spin up and form up. It's more nor'easter season now.
Yeah.
The way that we're getting these fronts that come through too, I'm feeling pretty confident that we're not going to see another one form at the rest of the season. I mean, we have another cold front coming through next week, and then it warms up a little bit, and then another one will probably come through.
Yep.
Should be okay.
If it were to end, Melissa would be the last one, and dang, if that were to be the case, we definitely went out with a bang with Melissa.
Sure did. Yeah,
So-
and that was only a couple of weeks ago.
A couple of weeks ago.
I mean, so
Crazy.
That's why we want to say, keep in mind that water down south of Cuba is still very warm.
Very warm.
So typical tracks can form them and spawn them in that area where Melissa was, Puerto Rico, and then those storms can slide up into our area and cause a little bit of trouble. Tidal flooding, some rain and wind out of them is usually the biggest issues if we were to get one into our region.
Yeah. We'll go through here the future track for each region here. So we'll start out with the Eastern Shore, just looking at a few clouds overhead as we head into this evening and towards the overnight. Looking pretty good as we head throughout your day on Friday. Maybe a few clouds as we head into Saturday. Saturday looking like a dry day. I think it's Sunday that we're watching for that chance for rainfall. I'll back that up here. That chance for rainfall to come on in. Maybe sometime during the morning hours. This model of the graph wants to put us in for some showers in the morning.
Yep.
We'll see if that ends up happening. The GFS and the Euro are still kind of battling on as to which one is right there. But for your Friday forecast, temperatures generally will be in the upper 50s across much of the region. What about for the peninsulas? We'll track this one out for you guys as well. It's taking its sweet time loading.
Loading. Please wait. Please wait.
We'll be dry with a few clouds overnight tonight. Early tomorrow morning, we're looking great. Friday's looking like a great day, I think, really start to finish. It will be maybe a little bit cooler for some areas. Temperatures should be in the upper 50s for most of the peninsulas. Then some cloud cover Friday into Saturday. Saturday's looking like a nice day with a few clouds passing on through. And then again, we'll have that chance for rain coming up for the day on Sunday.
Yep,
What about
Sunday morning.
What about for our temperatures? Temperatures generally around 60 degrees. So it looks like a pretty pleasant day coming up for our Friday across the peninsulas. I'll quickly go forward here for Friday. For the south side, likely around that 60-degree mark.
60 degrees.
Again, looking like a nice day. Yeah, we'll have a nice sunny day out there. And then for the Outer Banks, we're running out of time here. If these graphics would just load a little quicker. Got a lot of information going on here. Friday, looking like upper 50s to low 60s.
Not
maybe
bad.
around 62, Ahoskie, Gatesville. Yeah, looking like a great day across the area. I'll leave you with the 7-day. Got some rain chances coming up as we head into your Tuesday and Wednesday. So that's probably the best chance we have for a more substantial rainfall.
Quick little shout out on the in the next 17 minutes or so, Blue Origin could be launching a mission to Mars, NASA's Escape Aid mission, which is going to study Mars's magnetic sphere. We'll have more on that later on.
Yes.
Bye.